Tenderhearted, the podcast for those of us who struggle with being extra sensitive in a less than sensitive world. This is your host, Amy Kelso. I'm a writer, speaker, teacher, and advocate for anyone who is tenderhearted or cares about someone who is. Hello and welcome to Tenderhearted. I am your host, Amy Kelso. Today I want to talk about a topic that perhaps we don't often think about, but really affects everything in our life, and that is confidence. When you are confident, you're much more likely to be successful in life, because so much of what it takes to be successful in life requires a level of confidence. Just as a simple example, when you apply for a job and you go to an interview, if you don't come across as confident, you're probably not likely to get that job. So just that level of confidence that you can do the job allows you to get the job that you want, right? As well as anything else that you want to do in life. In order to do anything beyond the normal requires a level of confidence. Obviously, doing these podcasts, for example, takes a level of confidence that I have something worth telling, confidence that there are people out there who want to hear what I have to say, confidence that I'll be able to say it in a way that makes sense, that doesn't sound totally stupid. All of those different things require confidence, right? If you don't have confidence, you can survive life, obviously, but you may not ever be able to be really successful in life, because what happens is being confident is what allows you to take the risk and have control over what happens in your life. If you're not confident, you end up in situations that may not be your choosing. You get the job that somebody else thinks you can handle versus what maybe you really could handle if you exerted yourself and tried and believed. You end up in the relationships with people who you think you deserve versus going after the person you maybe really want because you're not confident in it, right? There's so many things in life that require a level of confidence. Unfortunately, especially right now in our society, we are not helping to cultivate confidence in our tender hearts. Instead of giving them confidence and encouragement and saying you can do anything you want, mostly what tender hearts hear is messages like, you're too quiet, you're too shy, you're too nice, you're too this, you're too that, you're too sensitive, you're too caring, or you're not enough, or you're too much. Everything is not enough or too much. And there's constantly kind of a barrage of people telling you what you are doing wrong and how you don't fit in. And obviously, every time you hear that, that eats into your confidence. Other things, obviously, that'll feed into that are any sort of emotional abuse, obviously affects your confidence level, right? Bullying, like we talked about in a past podcast. Bullying, obviously, is going to affect the confidence of a child. And all of these things that affect you as a child often stick with you, and it takes a lot to get past that lack of confidence. Part of the reason that a lot of times the tender heart will not have the level of confidence that many others have is because we are not put in enough situations where we are allowed to be successful. And one of the things that I really believe when you're working with a tender-hearted child is you have to find situations where they can be successful. So let's say you've got a child who has trouble socializing, has trouble hanging out with other kids. Some parents will be like, let's just throw them in a group of kids and hope they do well. The problem with that, of course, is sometimes they don't, and then they just get less confidence. It affects their, sense of self, all of that stuff, because they didn't do well. Whereas other parents will be like, maybe just don't have them be around kids, other kids, because they have trouble with it. Then you never develop the confidence of social skills. The trick is, and this is true with anything that you're trying to do, expose them in little amounts where they can be successful. So if they have trouble socializing in a big group, find one or two people that they can hang out with. Somebody that you think they'll get along with so that they can learn those social skills and build that confidence. Same thing with anything. If you are afraid of public speaking, start with talking to one friend. Practice in a trusted space. Practice with a small group. You want to take those baby steps. And I think we all kind of know that concept, but I don't think we always use it, especially when working with our tender hearts, helping them to find situations where they can be successful. So you're pushing them out of their comfort zone, but not too far is the trick. If you push them too far out of their comfort zone, they're likely to not succeed. And once you don't succeed, then that takes your confidence down. What you want to do is push them in just the right amount where they can go past their comfort zone, but also be successful. So now they know, ooh, I can be successful here. So now they have a higher comfort zone. So next time you can try something else. But if they never get that chance to be successful, if you're always pushing them way too far out, then they're going to go farther in, and their comfort zone is actually going to get smaller instead of bigger. So that's one way to work with helping to improve confidence, for example, in like a social situation. As far as finding confidence in your abilities to do something, again, same concept. You start small, you try something that you can be successful in, and once you're able to be successful, then you take the next step, and then you take the next step. But if you try to take a giant leap, chances are not only you're going to fail because it's just too much of a step, but also that failure then is going to bring you further down instead of helping you take steps further up. So really, I guess my point more than anything is that especially if you have a child who is tenderhearted, or, again, if you're tenderhearted and it's time for you to go back and care for your inner tenderhearted child, be very sensitive to that lack of confidence and work towards increasing it through taking those small, successful steps. That is your best way to build that confidence. But the real secret to helping tender hearts have more confidence is to help create a society where being a tender heart is a good thing, rather than the world we live in right now where mostly those things are looked down upon. How dare you be caring and compassionate and worrying about others? Those things, we need to encourage that and help people realize that that is not a liability. That is, in fact, a superpower. So there are some thoughts about confidence. Hopefully that helped. Again, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section. And if this is helping you, please like and subscribe.